Do not throw away your used tea bag. I am serious. The one sitting in the saucer beside your kettle right now, the one you were about to drop in the trash without a second thought, is worth more buried in your garden than almost anything you could buy at the garden store for $10. My grandmother knew this. She kept a small clay dish by the stove, and every used tea bag went into it instead of the bin. By the end of the week, that dish was full, and every Saturday morning she carried it out to the garden and did something with those tea bags that I did not understand until I was a grown man with my own patch of ground. When I finally tried it myself, I did not believe what happened. 3 weeks, that is all it took. 3 weeks after I buried a handful of used tea bags around the base of a tomato plant that was sickly, yellowing, and barely holding on, a plant I had honestly given up on. And that same plant was the strongest one in the entire row. I am going to show you exactly what she did, exactly why it works, and exactly what happens underground in the days after you bury that first tea bag. But I need you to stay with me to the end, because the most important part, the one mistake that ruins the whole thing and that almost everyone makes, comes last. And if you bury a tea bag without knowing it, you will do more harm than good. My name is Caleb Zook. I am Amish and I farm in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Let me show you. Here is what I want you to understand before we go a single step further. A used tea bag is not waste. It is one of the most concentrated free soil amendments that passes through your kitchen every single day, and almost every household in this country throws it directly in the trash without ever knowing what they are holding. Inside those spent leaves is a quiet little engine, and when you put that engine in the ground in the right way, at the right depth, near the right plant, it begins doing 4 separate things to your soil at the same time. 4 things that nurseries sell in 4 different bags for 4 different prices. I am going to walk you through all 4, but I am going to do it the way my grandmother showed me, one at a time, so you actually understand what is happening beneath the surface and not just what to do. Because here is the thing. Anybody can tell you to bury a tea bag. The reason it works, and the reason it sometimes fails completely, is in the details that nobody bothers to explain. Stay with me. Start with what is left behind after you have had your cup. The tea leaves in a used bag still hold a remarkable amount of nitrogen. Nitrogen is the single nutrient your plants burn through fastest. It is what builds the green, leafy growth, the strong stems, the lush canopy. It is also the first thing that washes out of garden soil after a heavy rain. Most struggling plants are not diseased. They are simply starving for nitrogen, and nobody told the gardener. Used tea leaves are roughly 4% nitrogen by weight. That does not sound like much until you understand that they release it slowly, over weeks, exactly as the plant needs it, not in one violent dump that burns the roots, the way a chemical fertilizer does. This is what the old folks meant when they said you cannot rush good soil. The tea bag feeds the plant on the plant's schedule, not yours. But nitrogen is only the first of the 4 things, and the second one is the reason that sickly tomato of mine came back to life. I will get to it, but first you need to understand what the tea bag does to the living creatures in your soil, because that is where the real magic is, and it is the part almost nobody talks about. Here is something most people never learn in their entire lives of gardening. Your soil is not dirt. Healthy soil is alive. One single handful of good garden soil contains more living organisms than there are people on the entire earth. Billions of bacteria, fungi, and microscopic creatures, all working in the dark, breaking down material and feeding it to your plant's roots, in a form the roots can actually drink. Those creatures need to eat, and what they eat, more than almost anything else, is the kind of broken down organic matter found in a used tea bag. When you bury that tea bag, you are not just feeding the plant, you are feeding the entire underground city that keeps the plant alive. The bacteria swarm the decomposing leaves. The fungi thread their way through them. Earthworms, and this is the part my grandmother loved most, are drawn to buried tea leaves like nothing else. They come up from deep in the soil, feed on the leaves, and leave behind castings that are among the richest natural fertilizer on the face of the earth. A single buried tea bag becomes a feeding station. And in 3 weeks, the soil around it transforms from dead and compacted into loose, dark, living earth crawling with the exact organisms your plant has been desperate for. That is what happened to my tomato. I did not feed the plant. I fed the soil, and the soil fed the plant. But there are still 2 more things the tea bag is doing, and the third one is the one that protects your plants from disease. Do not go anywhere. The third thing a buried tea bag does is gently lower the acidity of the soil right around it. Now this matters enormously. And here is why. Certain plants, and these are some of the most common plants in any garden, actually crave slightly acidic soil and struggle in soil that has gone too neutral or too alkaline. Tomatoes, peppers, blueberries above all, roses, azaleas, Most of the fruiting and flowering plants that people complain never quite thrive. When those plants sit in the wrong soil, they cannot pull nutrients up through their roots, even when the nutrients are right there. The plant starves in the middle of plenty. It is one of the most common and most invisible problems in home gardening, and most people never figure out what is wrong. The tannins in tea, the same compounds that make your tea taste the way it does, slowly acidify the soil as the bag breaks down. For an acid-loving plant, this is exactly the correction it has been waiting for. The roots open up, the nutrients flow, the plant comes alive, and there is a quiet bonus hidden in those same tannins. They have a mild natural antifungal and antibacterial quality. As the tea bag breaks down, makes the soil immediately around your plant's roots slightly less hospitable to the soil-borne diseases that cause root rot and damping off the silent killers that take down seedlings before they ever get going. So now you have nitrogen feeding the plant, an underground city of organisms being fed, the soil acidity corrected, and a measure of disease protection, all from something you were about to throw in the trash. But here is where I have to stop you, because there is one thing, one that turns this entire trick from a gift into a disaster, and almost everyone gets it wrong. Here it is, the part one told you to wait for. Most tea bags sold today are not made of paper. Pick up the tea bag in your kitchen right now and feel it. If it has a slightly slick, plastic-like texture, if it does not tear easily, if it feels almost silky, then that bag is made with polypropylene, plastic. And a great many of the modern silk pyramid tea bags are pure plastic mesh. If you bury that bag, the leaves will break down and feed your soil exactly as I described. But the bag itself will not. It will sit in your garden for years, breaking apart into microscopic plastic particles that work their way into your soil, into your worms, into your vegetables, and eventually onto your own dinner plate. This is the mistake, and it is the reason I tell people, never bury the bag itself blindly. Here is what you do instead, and it takes 3 seconds. Tear the bag open, pour the wet leaves directly into the soil and bury those. Throw the empty bag away, or if you have confirmed it is genuine unbleached paper, you may bury that too, since real paper breaks down completely. But the leaves are what you want in the ground. The leaves were always the point. The bag was just the package. My grandmother never had to think about this, because in her day every tea bag was paper and string. The world changed. The trick still works. You just have to know which bags to trust. So here is the whole method, start to finish. Collect your used tea bags through the week in a small dish, the way my grandmother did. Tear them open. When you have a handful of wet leaves, take them to the plant that needs help most. The yellowing one, the slow one, the one barely hanging on. Make a shallow hole near the base of the plant, 2 or 3 inches deep, just outside the main stem so you do not disturb the central root. Pour the leaves in, cover them over with soil, water lightly. That is the entire method. No tools, no cost, no store. For a struggling plant, repeat it once a week. Within 2 to 3 weeks you will see the same thing I saw. New green growth, stronger stems, a plant that looks like it remembered how to live. For acid-loving plants like tomatoes, peppers, roses, and blueberries, make it a regular habit through the whole season. A word of restraint, because the old folks always practiced moderation. Do not overdo it. A handful of leaves per plant per week is plenty. More than that, and you tip the soil too far, too fast, and the same acidity that helps in small amounts begins to harm in large ones. Slow and steady. The garden rewards patience and punishes greed. That has always been true, with tea bags and with everything else. So look at what we have just uncovered. The used tea bag you are about to throw away holds slow-release nitrogen to feed your plants, food for the billions of living organisms in your soil, a gentle acid correction for the plants that crave it, and a quiet measure of protection against the diseases that kill seedlings. 4 things, in one piece of kitchen waste, free, every single day. You only had to know 2 things to feed the leaves to the soil instead of the plant, and to tear open the bag so you never bury the plastic. My grandmother knew the first part by heart. The second part is something I had to learn for our changed times. Between the two, you now know more about this one small trick than almost anyone scrolling past this video today. So here is what I want you to do. Tonight, when you finish your cup of tea, do not throw the bag in the bin. Set it in a small dish by the stove. Let them collect through the week. And this weekend, carry them out to the plant in your garden that needs help the most, and bury those leaves at its feet. Then come back in 3 weeks and tell me in the comments what happened. I want to hear it. And tell me, did you know your tea bags might be plastic? Most people have no idea, and it changes everything. Next time, I am going to show you what the Amish do with used coffee grounds. because if you thought the tea bag was powerful, the coffee grounds sitting in your kitchen right now are doing something even the old folks were amazed by. It is the natural next step after today. Until then, save the bag, feed the soil, and trust that the earth does its best work in the dark where you cannot see it. That is how the old folks always did it.